So, Will Grier talked yesterday about why he chose the Cincinnati Bengals over other options in free agency. And obviously, yes, he had different options other than the Bengals, but he declined all of them to choose the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go ahead and talk about why he chose us over everyone else. Keep in mind that Will Grier is 28 years old, as it says right here, and he is a vested veteran. What that means is that when he was cut from the Cowboys, even though he had a really great preseason, he was not, put into a waiver pool. So he was a free agent right away, and he could have went to any team he went to. He ended up signing with our practice squad over other teams' practice squads. So just keep that in mind. It's not even like a waiver thing. He literally could have went anywhere. So here's what he had to say. It just came down to, do you want to play football or not play football? Grier said after Wednesday's practice. And I just said I want to play, yeah. I put in a lot into it. So I felt good about the offense. I knew I could put good tape out. So I just made it simple. Yeah, I'm going to go play. Grier shined with the Cowboys in the preseason finale, completing 29 of 35 passes for 305 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 36-16 win over the Raiders. He also ran for 54 yards and 2 more scores. He actually also led the Cowboys in that game in rushing yards. Keep in mind, the Cowboys probably would have kept him if they did not go ahead and trade for Trey Lance. They didn't trade for Trey Lance. They probably would have kept him 100%. His stellar play caught the attention of multiple teams, which meant he had options after Dallas released him on Tuesday. It was weird being in that position, fielding calls, and just trying to find the right fit, Grier said. It was the first time I've gotten to choose rather than being chosen. So it was a weird process. So yes, obviously came into the league in 2019. He played 2 games for the Panthers, lost both of those games, ended up getting benched, and never played an NFL game again in the regular season. He did play some preseason throughout his years, but never the regular season. As he says, he was never the guy that, teams were calling him and asking him, like, hey man, can you come to our team? Can you play for our team? Like, he did not ever get that. And after his preseason, how good he looked, he got many, many calls. And at the end of the day, he had to go through each option and weigh each option. And here's why he picked Cincinnati. A big part for me was being on a good competitive team. Somebody that had talent and was a Super Bowl contender, which clearly this place is, Grier said. That was a big part of the decision. I wanted to go to a place that had a chance to win it all, coming from a place like Dallas, that we were building to go win it all. I wanted to go somewhere else with that same vision and same ability, and this place definitely has that. Now, I'm going to say overall wise, I'm not going to trash the Dallas Cowboys at all, but he is correct, right? On the History Channel, I think they always show the Dallas Cowboys, and I think it's really awesome, for the Cowboys. I think, part of their win it all mentality is I think they all watch the History Channel like a million times to talk about how Emmitt Smith is still part of the team. Anyway, though, it does continue to say, he joins a quarterback room that includes Joe Burrow and Jake Browning. Grier practiced on Wednesday despite not knowing the playbook. He's probably hoping to take Browning's backup job at some point of this season. And I did see a lot of you guys comment down below and say, yeah, you believe that Grier is going to be that backup. He's going to take it over Jake Browning. I don't 100% agree with that. I think Jake Browning has this job and showed in the preseason that he knows this offense. You got to keep in mind one big thing, right? Jake Browning has been playing in this offense under Brian Callahan for the last 2 seasons in preseason. He has played 8 total preseason games. He has chemistry with these receivers. He has chemistry in practice with these guys. There is so much that our coaches love about this guy. That's why he got the job over Trevor Siemian, right? And for someone new to come in and take over that job, he's going to have to be light years better than Browning. And you can't really make the excuse, well, he's a veteran. He is 28 years old. He is a veteran. But you can't make the excuse that, like, oh, well, he's played in the NFL games and, Jake Browning hasn't, because Will Grier only played 2 regular season games, and he lost both of them. He had 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So you really can't even make that argument that, like, he has more NFL experience, because he doesn't. So I don't agree that he would take over because, again, Will Grier would have to show he knows the playbook and better than Jake Browning. And with Jake Browning having 2 years of experience, it's going to be hard for him to learn the playbook fast enough to take over that spot. And number two, it's getting that chemistry down with the receivers that Jake Browning just has over 2 years, 8 games of playing with them and countless processes. So I'm not going to agree that he would eventually take over, but I think he will be always a good option to have in the practice squad in case someone does get hurt, whether it's Jake Browning or etc. It's nice to have, that guy in there that could help us out if something happens. It says, in the meantime, he needs to get some sleep and learn the playbook. I'm going to put my head down and work, and we'll see how long it takes, he said. I'll sleep good tonight, we'll catch up on sleep, and we'll be just fine. And again, I do believe he'll be just fine. And you already know on this channel, I love it whenever a guy comes in and tries his best to do what's best for our team, help out our team in every way possible, and really give us the best competitive advantage to win, right? I love any player who does that. But again, like I said, I still believe truly it's Jake Browning's job, and unless something crazy injury-wise happens, I don't think Jake Browning's going to lose it. I think Jake Browning showed us one thing this preseason, and that he is a very capable backup. And while, yes, he does lack the NFL experience of being on the field in the regular season, he has showed us that he at least knows this playbook to a very good degree. And if you had, let's say, for example, the actual number one receivers out there, Chase, T, Tyler Boyd, Irv Smith, etc., and the offensive line starting, I think Jake Browning would have looked really, really good in, preseason. Now, even with, the backups of the backups line and wide receivers, he still looked good. But if you actually had starters out there, I think Jake Browning would be a very good, viable option. And, you go from Brandon Allen, who I know a lot of Bengals fans told me this, and going back and watching Brandon Allen, if Joe went down, Brandon Allen was not going to win a game. I can confidently say that. But I can confidently say that I believe Jake Browning could win a game if there was no Joe Burrow. Obviously, knock on wood for that. Never want to see that happen. But that's how confident, I feel like I am, and I feel like a lot of Bengals fans are, and how much confidence the coaches have. To a point that one of the reporters asked coach and said, hey, did Jake Browning pretty much take the job, like the bull by the horns, when he took this job? And he said, yeah, he did. So it's, again, like I said, one of those situations where I feel like I don't think anyone else is going to take his job. But, at the same time, we'll see how Will Grier, develops and how he plays. But glad to see he picked us over everybody else. We are the best landing spot possible if you want to get a ring anyway. So even if he just wants a ring chase and, be on this team, because I think when they win a Super Bowl, they get to choose who gets the ring and who doesn't get the ring. But a lot of times the press squad guys will get the ring. So he possibly get a ring then there too. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.